Thank you, Adelaideans and Adelaideans. It's so good to be here. Motherhood can be incredibly hard. Would you not agree? Right, it can be incredibly hard, especially when you're stuck at home with a wonky microphone. Anyway, I know, guys, that's very disturbing, isn't it, when that happens? Sorry, triggering. Yeah, motherhood can be incredibly hard, right? And especially if you're stuck at home with young children. I remember when I had 3 children under 5 and I was stuck at home. My husband was out working 6 days a week. And I got quite depressed and lonely because I'd go for many days without having an adult conversation. Do you remember those times, right? It was really, really isolating and lonely in your sense of identity. And it got to the point where I was so depressed that I rented a boat and I rowed out into the middle of Port Phillip Bay. And I was about to put an end to all my pain. And then I stood up in the boat and I had an epiphany and I thought, things will get better. And I looked out into the water and I said to the kids, it's okay, you can get back in. I've had an affair. I'm not proud that I've had an affair, but sometimes you meet someone. I've been married for 27 years and I met someone and we were just so incredibly attracted to each other that we had to act on it. And we used to meet about every 2 months, and sometimes it was, became more and more frequent every 2 weeks, and then to the point where we were actually talking every day. And we were always meeting at his place. Anyhow, all of a sudden he just stopped returning my calls. And what I ended up doing was writing a song because my therapist thought it was a good idea, and here it goes. I remember the first time I met you, it was magic between us. Things moved so fast, love's diving cast. You wanted to know all about me, about my history. Actually, I'm going to start again, because it's being recorded. I remember the first time I met you, there was magic between us. Things moved so fast, love's diving cast. You wanted to know all about me, about my history. When you first touched me, pure electricity. I knew we were meant to be when I felt you inside of me. And you said those words, your cervix feels fine, but I know you were saying, oh baby, be mine. Oh my obstetrician. I'm in love with my obstetrician. I let him explore, oh my labia majora. It feels like my Gigi just won a lottery. I remember the first time, baby, that you motioned to your bed. Your look said, please take off your pants. Ooh, it has a well with romance. She said, Kate, you can leave your top on. Ooh, and then just stepped outside, so I stepped down to the boat. Oh, my forest overgrown. And my heart skipped a beat just at the thought of you picking on the machine. And then positioning your lap to my cave dark and damp and saying, no vulvar varicosity. Oh, my obstetrician. I'm in love with my obstetrician. And then you came back in the room and you looked at me all naked and virginal on your bed. And then you looked at the underpants I'd left in the middle of the room on the floor. And you looked back at me and you said, Kate, we're not doing internal today. Thank you very much. Making love is a beautiful thing. Would you not agree? My husband and I, we've been married for 27 years and we don't have sex anymore because we make love. Because making love is beautiful. It's like, song of carnal joy. It's poetry of the flesh. It's like going down a wet and wild slide wedged between two Tahitian baggage handlers with no bathers on. It's like going down on the chocolate Easter bunny on a summer's day. It's like sniffing the fingers of a potato farmer after a wet harvest. All earthy and moist. Anyhow, the other day our daughter walked in on us making love, and we got no warning. There was no pitter-patter of tiny feet down the corridor or rattling of the door handle. She just appeared inches from my face, right? And what I couldn't get over was her reaction. She was like, it was like that Edvard Munch painting, you know? Exactly. And then I couldn't get over what she just screamed out of the room, and I thought, I've got to go and talk to her. So I got out of bed and my husband grabbed my arm quite aggressively and he said, Kate, first you need to take out the gag ball. Anyway, I actually wrote a book about your sex life after you have children. And look, the crazy thing is you would never have heard of it because they pulled it at the last minute, and all it was the publisher thought it was too controversial, right? They thought, there was a proofreader left out a comma in the title, so the title read "Making Love with Children." So don't worry, I decided to self-publish, and I've got these lovely old guys in a chat room who are really interested. As part of my book, Making Love, with Children, I travel the world asking mothers from various cultures how do they manage their sex life now they have children. And I started off in France and I spoke to Geneviève and she said, well, I just tell Gérard, vas-y, farcis le roi vivant avec le paix de Boison parce que papa a une énorme érection. Il faut qu'on fasse le mot, autre part, il va exploder, it's simple. And then I went across to Germany and I spoke to Ilka and I said, Ilka, how do you manage to have sex in peace? And she said, wissen Sie noch, Wiener Schnitzel, wissen eine Feld, keine Linke, sa Mama, wissen die Mercedes-Benz, Siegler, wissen die wissen on this stand off und Fleisch, Papa, Panzer, seven unterwessen out of strap-on, wissen die Bunsen Burner. And then I went up to Sweden. I spoke to Anna, and she said, I said, Anna, stop. I will definitely check that restaurant out. Now, how many people in the audience were brought up in the 70s? Right, there wasn't it a different time to bring up children. It was so much easier. There was the stack hats were just coming in, and your parents would get Vegemite and cheese sandwiches every day for lunch. I mean, you didn't complain, and they'd say just go out and be home before dark. There was none of this tracking app, right? No tracking apps. It was just an easier time. Kids were free, parents were footloose, and drink driving was a national pastime. I want to be a mum in the 70s, leave the kids in the car at adult parties, when screen time was just black and white TV, and kids got nothing until they say please. I want to be a 70s mum, barefoot babes and smacks on the bum, when playgrounds were padded and drinks had sugar added and slides got burning hot in the sun. I wanna be a mom in the 70s. I wanna be a mom in the 70s, when kids got nothing until they say please. You know what I mean? I wanna be a mom in the 70s, bring Bob home in Tupperware, balanced on my knees, driving the family, smoking in the car. Oh, shut up, kids, it's not that far. 70s moms were cool in moo-moos, Tie the kids to the hills, hoist and take a snooze. Lessons will lift, a bruise was a bruise. If you lost a game, then baby you lose. You lose. You lose. None of these participation ribbons. If you lost a game, then baby you lose. Oh, a simpler child. Oh, a simpler child where kids were ignored. Oh, a simpler child where kids were allowed to be bored. A time of only one warning, like eat your dinner tonight or else eat it in the morning. I wanna be a 70s mom, will let the kids play naked in the midday sun. I wanna be a 70s mom, where living was simple and way more fun. No helmets, no seatbelts, no lawsuits. No helmets, no seatbelts, no lawsuits. No helmets, no seatbelts, no lawsuits. If you lost a game, then baby, you lose. I just want to let the kids play in the backyard with lawn darts and make bonfires with kerosene. And I want to send them to the local milk bar and buy me a packet of Benson and Hedges extra mile, like I did for my mum, right? I mean, I want to knock on the door for a play date. It's so depressing organising their social life. It's so much better than mine. I want to ask the local priest to babysit. I know it's risky. But it's free! Life was easy! Life was dangerous! Dangerous! If you lost a game, then baby, you lose! Cotton wool was for makeup, baby. Cotton wool was for makeup, yeah. Dangerous. No cotton wool wrapping and no damn fun. I wanna be a mom in the shanty. I wanna be a mom in the shanty. I wanna be a mom in the shanty. I can got no touch it, please. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to welcome your next two is Artie by name, Artie by nature, the gorgeous Artie Vincent.